All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is where I'm going to show you the cards that I got graded recently, where they're going to end up in my room. Some of those are not being displayed, have already been put away, but we're going to start with probably everybody's favorite part of my collection, I'd say at this point, is the Diamond Star cards. So I have 8 here that are graded that need to go into this cabinet. So I was going to show you all the cards in it when we're done, and subsequently also into this cabinet. So they go over 2. The reflections are going to be kind of bad here, and I'll see what I can do to kind of move the glass, open the glass a little bit to reduce the glare as I put these cards in. So this is just kind of the first part showing what I'm going to do. I'll put the cards in and then I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm going to do before and after for this and the other display areas that I'm working on. All right, so I got the display open now. So you can see the cards with reduced glare. It's still going to be hard to remove it completely. But this display cabinet holds 50. So it has the first 48 cards and also one card that's going to be repeated twice because it's from 2 different years, and the one that was a gift, it's from the same year. So it's got 48 of the 96 that I'm collecting, and the other case carries the rest. So here's the top row here. That's where Lefty Grove goes on the top there. And this is the card that I just recently acquired, or at least purchased. I don't have it yet. That's going to be Dick Bartell to kind of fill out the second row, which will complete this cabinet except for Lefty Grove. Some of these cards you've seen on the channel with no glare, obviously. So the light's right behind me, so it's kind of hard not to capture some of this. Here's some of the cards I got at the National without a glare. It's Sparky Adams. Another recent one, Pie Trainer that we just added in, Al Lopez, Red Rolf. Go down to the last 2 rows here. These have been kind of done for a little bit. Schoolboy Row is the last one to put in on that second to last. And this last row has been completed ever since I started the cabinet. So there you go. That is display case number 1. Again, sorry for the glare. It's just kind of what it is at this point. When you have cards that are encased in acrylic and you have lights in your room, you're going to have glare. So, but pretty awesome, I think. Cabinet number 2 here. This was going to have the rest of the set. And this is where I'm still missing 8 cards. So there's going to be some gaps in here. Actually, start with the top because I'm not capturing that fully. Because you missed, should have seen the Greenberg and I didn't see it. Now I see the Greenberg. Go down to the second row. Got the Medwick, got the Stonewall Jackson I just put in. Bottomley over there. The Tony Lazzeri that I got over at the National. The Geringer, bought off of Joe. Second to last row, got a few gaps in here. Selkirk O'Neill, new recent acquisitions, along with the Babbage. Helped to fill that out quite a bit. In the bottom row, I just need to add one. It's going to have one opening at each side because it's 96 cards. And I have 50 in the other cabinet. So there you go. In case you kind of wondered what it looked like, there you go. Lots of glare with the acrylic. I'm going to close this up now and I'm going to show you some of the other displays. All right, so I just added in the Topps Black card that I got graded recently. This is my pool holes cabinet. I've had to move a few things out of here to accommodate new cards coming in. So it's kind of fun. So it's just going to be like me kind of doing that periodically. There's going to be a little bit of a glare coming from my display case next to me just because I needed to add a little bit more light. So you can see these. I have it open at the moment, so this is just a reflection off the acrylic. These are the ones I have in the case currently. A lot of sapphire cards, a couple Topps Black, Heritage Refractors. So a lot of things that are serial numbered are in here or have a low print run. Pretty much are in here in addition to the 3 rookie cards that I have of his. So you see how it's kind of looking for the most part. So let me close this up and I'll show you some other stuff that I've done. All right, so here's a quick one. This is actually the Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead that I got at the baseball game a couple weeks ago. See, it's his throwing motion. They're actually trying to commemorate the one game playoff they played against the Minnesota Twins where he threw a runner out at home and they won the game just 1-0. And then I decided to go with this copy of the two Griffies that I had graded. Went with the 2009 Series 1 to go with this little display in here. So it's got a little nook for the bobblehead and the card for his whole 2 months and a couple playoff games as a White Sox. All right, I want to do a quick before and after in this one. I wanted to change the background a little bit on this particular display, meaning the cards that were actually in the back. This is where I wanted to add in some of those 64 Giants I just recently got. So stay tuned. All right, we're back. Sorry, that's a little out of focus for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. I think it's the glare. But we have, instead of having the Topps Supers from 1970 and 71, I decided to replace the Bob Gibson with the Topps Giants because it was going to be the only one that wasn't. So I added in, obviously, the Frank Robinson I recently graded, and I kept the Yastrzemski, brought the Bob out that I had. And we added Roberto Clemente and Willie Mays. The rest of the display remained the same for the most part. There we go. There you go, and that's the bottom of the three that are open. Everything else is behind glass of some sort. So there you go. All right, so here's the final one I'm going to work on. I'm going to try and work on adding those Topps Redman in the back there. As you can see, I showed them usual and started with that. I like the tiering effect that I have on the shelf that I just showed you, where I have like taller stuff in the back, then I have like stuff that's mid-size, and then I have cards that are horizontal at the bottom. So you can just kind of see the things in the back more clearly. You can see, like, I only see the top of the usual card from this angle. And I'd like to be able to kind of work on that so I can see a little bit more of the back, kind of highlighting some larger items in here. So that's what I'm going to work on here. So stay tuned. I'm going to take these down and add in those lovely Redmans I was able to pick up, which also means some cards are coming out. All right, so here it is. It took me a little time to put it together because I wanted to figure out what cards remained in the cabinet because I was adding in 4. So 4 needed to go out, and I actually did a little bit of change with some stuff. I added in actually a 5th card in here, and it was the same player. I just replaced a card because I wanted to get the tiering effect. So you can see the oversized items in the back, early 50 Topps and Bowman here of a couple sets that I really like, which are larger cards. And then we have the smaller cards from the Bowman release from 52 and 51 coming up. The Leaf and Bowman from 49, 48, which are smaller cards. So it kind of gives that tiering effect without having like a horizontal card to do it. All right, that's it. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed it. I know it was a real quick video, and I'll be back.